Hey everyone, Luke here, and today I just want to talk about three distinct stages of what I would call awareness or consciousness that people in nutritional balancing programs tend to move through. Okay, so let's talk about them in order. So number one, and I would say this is what most people when they first start the nutritional balancing program, and that most people in society in general are under. In the first stage I would call hypnosis, okay? Now the reasons for hypnosis are many. Many people have been under hypnosis since they've experienced a traumatic event in their lives. For example, many women have been under a sense of hypnosis since they've been raped, perhaps as a child. This is true for men as well. Many people are just in hypnosis of life. Many people have been taught to believe certain things about themselves, about the people around them, about society in general. And this always leads to a certain amount of hypnosis and a false belief in things. Okay, so what many people are under is what I would call hypnosis of life. Okay, many people are just going through the act, and they're just doing what they've been told to do. How they've been acting a certain way. And it's also important to realize that this stage of hypnosis also has a nutrition factor in it and a biochemical cause as well. For example, when you've been depleted and toxic your entire life, and you were basically in a fog since you've been born almost, or you've been in fog for so long you can't remember what it's like to be out of the fog, it's hard to have a reference point, okay? So many people are also in hypnosis partially from a biochemical standpoint. When you have things like manganese and heavy metals, other heavy metals like nickel and cadmium and all these things in your nervous system and in your brain, it also leads more towards hypnosis, okay? Because you're living in a fog, you can't think as clearly, you can't discern right from wrong as well. And so for many people, in fact for almost all people, nutrition is also very important, and from a biochemical standpoint, this also tends to cause hypnosis, okay? So that would be what the first stage I would list as. The second stage I would list as awakening, okay? Now, I would probably say that myself, am in this stage. So the awakening stage is probably the most transitory phase, okay? Because as many people wake up, they see the world in a different light, and they have to learn to forgive themselves. So I'd say the most important thing, and they have to forgive other people as well, and they have to forgive society, and they have to forgive everyone as they awake. And so I would say the most important part of the second phase, which is awakening, is forgiveness. Because many people, as they awaken, and I've noticed this in myself included, is that as they awaken, they get angry, okay? Because if you've been living in a fog your whole life, and you've been somewhat hypnotized your whole life, and all of a sudden you see the things around you for what they really are. If you see the way the people treat themselves in a new light, why people do the things they do, you question, why do parents treat their kids this way, why do people treat each other this way, you may question, why does society behave like this, why do we teach our children certain things. All these things are sort of a shock to the person as they awaken out of their slumber, as it were. And so many people actually get angry, and they have to learn to forgive all those around them and realize that you can't change the world in a day, and that the best thing to do is just lead by example. And hopefully, as you set a good example, people will see that in you, okay, and they'll want to follow your lead. Okay, so I would say forgiveness is a very important part of the second phase of awareness. And I would say that the third and last stage of awareness would be what I would call unconditional love. Okay? Now, obviously, with these three stages, there's no exact starting point and no exact ending point. Obviously, some people are under more hypnosis than others. Okay? Obviously, there's in-between periods, where you're beginning to wake up. You know what I'm saying? And so you always want, the goal of the nutritional balancing program is always to move the person towards more development, okay, and move the person towards more unconditional love. And this is where you can learn to forgive others and learn to love everyone regardless of their flaws, okay? So in order to love everyone, first you have to forgive them, right? You have to realize that, many people have been taught false ideas their whole lives, and a lot of people, just simply haven't been shown the way, and it's up to you to show them the way. And then one can reach, like I said, the third stage of awareness of unconditional love, where, even when you see a person treating themselves badly, making the same mistakes over and over again, when you see people doing silly things, people do silly things all the time and you don't know why. And you have to learn to forgive them for that, and then you have to learn to love them for it, and love them regardless of what. And you also have to learn to love the self as well. And that's very important too. You have to learn not only to forgive and love others, but you have to learn to forgive and love yourself. That might be the most important. That probably is the most important. Because until you love and forgive yourself, how can you love and forgive others? Okay, because so within, so without, right? It all starts with you. And that's why it always starts by leading by example, okay? And loving yourself and doing the best you can so that you can show others the way, okay? So I would say those are the three stages of awareness. And what's special about Nutritional Balancing Program is that some people do move through these developmental stages on their own, but the goal is always to speed it up, and the goal is to always help people move towards unconditional love and help heal people at the deepest level. So I hope that helps you guys out, and I will talk to you guys later.